A desert planet with twin suns.
Why do I sense we've picked up another pathetic life form?
Use my knowledge. Much to learn. You still have.
Welcome back to Twin Sun Talks, folks. I'm your host, Jonah Liu. Thank you so much for listening. And welcome to our very first edition of The Ability to Speak Does Not Make You Intelligent.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
What this is essentially going to be is more of a free-form conversation, kind of like I've had when I've had guests on in the past. And today we're going to be focusing mainly on the new Star Wars anime series that just got released called Visions. And on with me to talk about that, I have one of my roommates, John Grimes. John, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. And then we also have a high school friend of ours, Hamza Asadi. Hamza, how you doing, bud?
Hello. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. Okay, so as I normally do with my guests whenever I have them on for the first time, I do a brief little profile just of your favorite movie, your favorite character, your favorite show, and then if you could have a lightsaber, what color would it be? So let's start with John. John, hit me.
All right. So, favorite movie? It's probably just Rogue One because it's very self-contained. It was very entertaining.
Love that.
Favorite character is actually Captain Rex from the childhood thing. I got his helmet when I was a kid, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I just have an attachment to him. My favorite show. This is a bit of a cop-out, but Clone Wars season 7 exclusively.
Okay.
Or The Mandalorian if I have to say the whole show. But season 7 was just so good that
I agree.
I think that pushes it above Mandalorian. And then lightsaber color, maybe it's just because I played Fallen Order, but I really like orange lightsabers.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. They're really cool.
That's amazing. Dude, I love that. And if y'all don't remember, in my first and only so far installment of Incoming Transmissions, John actually corrected me that I hadn't covered all of the canonical lightsaber colors because Jedi Fallen Order had canon.
Fallen Order exists, and you haven't played it. I'm going to force you to play it one of these days.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll play for it through it, and you can watch me.
That's very fair. Yeah, no, I have no knowledge of it, but yeah, that's all right. Okay, dude, love that. Hamza, hit me.
All right. So, favorite movie, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Same.
It's great. I love it. Favorite show. See, I have a bit of a confession. I may or may not have watched Clone Wars, as you two know. So I'll go with either Mandalorian or Visions. One or the other, really. Favorite lightsaber color is a bit hard because I was also going to say orange, so I'll go with yellow.
Yeah, you can also say orange.
Cool.
They're cool.
You can say orange too.
Yeah. Some
no shame in that.
will be nice.
No, that's very fair. Yellow's really cool as well. I will concede that. All right, awesome. Well, yeah, so I have y'all on today to talk about Visions. I know that y'all are both big anime fans, and I'm not independent of this, so I figured I'd have y'all on because y'all would have some insight that I wouldn't necessarily have. And a couple of days ago, I actually posted my rankings for this show, so I figured that we can kind of start off by just giving our thoughts on each episode. So episode 1, The Duel. Does anyone want to start this conversation? We can kind of go around on who. Okay.
Fantastic episode. I really enjoyed it. Are we allowed to go into some detail of what is in each episode?
I think that it's fair. Okay, this is my spoiler warning that we're going to spoil the episodes. This is a spoiler.
Okay.
Yes. So if you don't want the episodes to be spoiled, cop out now.
They're like 15 minutes. You can watch them.
They are. Yeah, watch them all and then come back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So spoiler warning. Go for it.
All right. So umbrella lightsaber.
That was so cool. That was so cool.
It's very cool. Very, very cool.
When she extended it while it was through someone, so it just like Swiss cheese them.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Like everything is it's so cool.
It was really legit. I completely agree. That was super cool.
And also, it was the first episode, of course, where we see the katana lightsabers.
Yeah.
Those look pretty cool.
They do.
And it looked like a Kurosawa samurai film. It had a very stylish sort of like vibe to it. It looked amazing. It had pretty good fights, and it had a very nice self-contained story. don't really have much else to say about it.
I agree.
Yeah, makes sense.
John?
And the art style was very distinctive. I was glad I could immediately recognize what studio did it, but that's a very nerdy thing. You know who studio did it, right, Hamza? The studio
Yeah,
that did JoJo's. Very
yeah,
distinctive style. But I just really enjoyed the whole thing. I thought it was very cool that in the end, the dude wasn't even a Jedi. I
Yeah.
mean, he could have been, but it's probably more likely that he just killed a Sith and stole their lightsaber, and now just kills Siths.
yep.
And I just think that's really cool.
Just a
Just
nice
someone,
I
little
agree.
twist.
yeah,
Nice little
nice,
Yeah.
nice twist. Very self-contained story. Phenomenal first episode. Great pilot.
I completely agree. Yeah, and I think that the art style was almost like it was minimalistic in a way, but it was also super super detailed, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the contrast of like just only the lightsabers have color, and that sort of artistic choice is really really cool. And yeah, I love Ronan. I think that he's a super super compelling character, and yeah, I kind of like him. Just his like kind of the allure of him. Like he's just a wandering warrior. Yeah, we don't really know if he was a Sith and kind of turned his back on that, or if he was a Jedi who turned his back on that, and now just kind of goes around serving justice wherever he's needed. But I completely agree. I think that it's a really really awesome episode. Alrighty, moving on to episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody.
We
Who
have
wants
to
to
talk
take
about
this
this one?
Who wants to
have
take
to.
it? Yeah, I can start it. This is my least favorite episode in the entire show.
Yeah.
Which
It's pretty fair to say that.
across the board, I have seen some people that have like online that have said that they liked it.
Yeah.
Not that it was like their favorite, but it was just like that it was so unique and so fresh and so different from anything else that like they enjoyed that aspect of it. I found it just extremely childish and annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely kind of a little bit enjoyable, but that's really all it had going for it. And I don't know. It's pretty boring most of the time.
They had
And
characters we recognized. And
It
that was
did.
about it.
And
Some
Tamora
characters.
Morrison dubbed over Boba Fett in the English version, so that was pretty
Mhm.
dope.
Oh yeah, you watched it in English.
I
Yeah.
also watched it in
Yeah.
English.
Okay,
I can't.
I've seen some comparisons. I do believe the Japanese dub is a bit better for I think most of the episodes.
Okay.
I believe it. It was just Star Wars. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it the
Yeah,
English pass this
mhm.
time.
It makes it
Yeah,
it tires me out to read and watch, so I figured I'd
I
just go with
guess.
English.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we're used to
seen
it.
I've seen some arguments online saying that episode 2 is more enjoyable in Japanese than it is in English.
Okay.
I don't know how true that argument is, but just thought I'd mention it.
That's cool. I'll keep that in mind. I'm sure I'll go back. I just rewatched The Elder, which we'll get to later.
Oh,
The other
Nice.
night, so I'm sure I'll watch almost all of these again at some point. Do y'all have any other thoughts on Tatooine Rhapsody?
The microphone lightsaber was funny. That's about it.
I was so confused on the timeline that like he shows up and then he falls in and then they're playing a show. I couldn't tell that it was the same character. It
Yeah.
was,
yeah.
I think
It
he
was
dyed
very-
his
it was
hair to
very
like hide his
confusing.
identity or something, but
yeah, but that wasn't
No.
like
it was not
conveyed
sad.
in any way.
You just had to
I was like,
recognize it.
Oh, is it the same guy? It's like no, yeah, it is.
Maybe it
know.
is.
It threw me off. Anyways, episode 3, the twins. John, do you want to field this one?
I'd want to start with this one. It was an okay episode, but I was very disappointed because I had high expectations, especially because it was coming from Trigger Studios, who's done so many good things, and they just dropped the ball. It looked pretty. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say.
That's fair.
It looked very pretty, but it was also very enjoyable, at least to me. There was not really much story to it. It wasn't that amazing, but it definitely was one of the coolest ones. I'm not gonna lie, at least for me. Like
That's
the white rainbow-ish tinted lightsaber, I thought that was really cool.
It
And like
did
the
look very cool.
extensions and like the manipulation of the lightsaber was really really nice.
Yeah.
And Evil Twins multiple like lightsaber whips. I thought that was also like kind of really really creative and nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
I
just
do have a
carnage
question
and
for you.
destruction.
So you did watch this one in Japanese, right?
Yes.
Okay, the English dialogue was very, very cringy.
It was bad.
So
Yeah.
that's
I
why I
heard.
knocked it down. It was bad. So that's
I
actually
really liked
when I
it.
might go back and watch in Japanese, because then it might be good, but it just was
Yeah.
not.
No,
English stuff was so cringy.
It was very cringy. And I will say the concept of like a lightsaber suit
That
is
was
really
cool.
really cool,
Very, very cool.
and I'll give that episode that. But my main beef was that it gave me like Princess Leia, Mary Poppins vibes when they're fighting in space with no suits and stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't appreciate when things do that,
Definitely
even
didn't
if
really
it's a
make too much
cartoon.
sense.
Yeah, I was
Even if
able to
it's a
look past
cartoon.
that.
That was one of my main beefs, but I thought the dialogue was extremely cheesy. I felt like that kind of storyline is very overdone in Star Wars, where it's like kind of
Yeah.
pitting family members against each other. There are a lot of inconsistencies as far as like, and this is me as a Star Wars fan rather than an anime fan, but like, why was there an X-wing and a Star Destroyer just sitting around? I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was weird.
That's weird. That should be there,
Yeah.
but like,
Also, a
that's
Star Destroyer that can destroy planets. Then what was the Death Star for?
well. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, that was the
I
whole
think it's like
premise.
a twin
It was.
Star Destroyer type of thing.
But still.
I mean, that was also the whole premise of like the final fleet or whatever, and the Emperor's fleet and Rise of Skywalker was that each of them had like a planet destroying laser.
You see, I don't remember that movie. I
Valid.
did watch it. I don't
I-
remember it.
I tried to purge it from my memory too. It's fine, but it's okay.
Oh, and I just wanted to say something. The whole like family ties sort of like aspect of the story is also like very prominent in a lot of anime. So it's
Yeah, that's
also
fair.
one of the reasons why it was included there in such a
No,
big focus.
and that's very valid. But and it's also obviously extremely prominent in Star Wars just because like the entire main storyline is
Well,
about the
yeah.
Skywalker family. But I just feel like a lot of these stories did well without that aspect of it, and I feel like this particular rendition of it didn't quite land with me. I don't feel like that's a bad thing to keep coming back to, but I feel like if you're going to do it, you got to do it right because it's been done a lot already.
Yeah.
So that's just my personal opinion on that. But any final thoughts, or should we move on to episode 4?
We can move on.
I think we can move on.
Okay, The Village Bride. Does anyone have any
The
burning?
music was phenomenal.
It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
My boy Kevin Penkin came through with the soundtrack.
Excellent.
If you don't know Jonah, he is a somewhat like recently popular composer. He does a lot of anime soundtracks.
Okay.
So far, he's done Made in Abyss, Rising the Shield Hero, Tower of God, and now Visions.
Does he just
and
work for
yeah.
that studio? Because the same studio
No.
that did this did Made in Abyss and Shield Hero.
I don't think he works for the same studio, but I think it's just that he might probably have some sort of connection there or something.
Or maybe they just hire him back because they like his work.
Probably because the vocals he adds to a lot of the tracks are like very, very good.
Mm-hmm. I will say I watched this at like 1 a.m. and I typically go to bed at 10, so I was
I watched
very
it with
tired. Yeah, you did. Well, was that the only time you watched it? You didn't go watch it again?
No, I watched it for the first time before that, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was my one time watching it.
yeah.
So I was pretty tired, but I thought it was very entertaining. It was a lot better than the episode 2 and 3. So I was like, oh, hey, these episodes are getting better. That's
Yeah.
good. I thought it was weird that the main character was wearing a mask when she just had like one scar on her chin. That
Yeah.
felt a little weird, but
That's valid. No,
That's
I mean, hey, there's a yellow lightsaber.
there
And
was.
Yeah,
pretty
It was
that's
sacred,
cool.
though.
It was cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Also, there's a lot of like mysteriousness with the whole story, even till
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
And I would not be opposed to having a full season of just that story, some sort of continuation.
I
I
agree.
hope we get follow ups for a lot of these episodes.
I
Yes,
completely agree.
we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, 100%. No, I really enjoyed this episode. It was like just on the cusp of being one of the best in my opinion. It wasn't. I ranked this number 4 on my list, but I thought that it was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I think her name's F, the main character.
Maybe.
I thought she was super
I
interesting.
think so.
There were
Um,
so many names I did not bother to remember them.
I think her name's F, just because I was like, oh, that's easy to remember. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't love. The ending was super super cool to me. All the stuff leading up to it was kind of confusing a little bit, but I felt like they built tension really well, and I just thought that it was a
They
solid
did.
solid episode.
It was
It
quite good.
was.
Okay, next episode is the
This
Ninth
is my
Jedi.
favorite. I think this is my favorite
one of the
episode.
This is my second favorite. It's excellent. I
It
love
was
this
so
episode so
good.
much. Okay, John, why don't you take this one first?
Okay, so just despite the story itself already being well written, they also just had the coolness factor with color changing lightsabers based on
Yeah.
your alignment that also
I agree.
change in length based on the wielder, which was just so cool. And the
It
main
is really
character
cool.
started with basically a clear lightsaber, and as she kept fighting, it became more solid. It just became
Yeah.
a solid green by the end. It was just so cool. I just love the cool, just interesting things like that that don't exist in canon, but they're not
Yeah.
canon, and that's why you can do it, and that's why
It's
it's
a
cool.
shame. No, it's
Exactly.
a shame it's not canon.
It
It's
should
such
be
a
canon.
cool
It was
concept.
so cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, Hamza, why don't
So
you go?
cool.
It's definitely the episode with the most like coolest introductions. Like John said, the lightsabers that change are just like why can't we have this? Disney, please just
Yeah.
add it.
It was so
It's not
cool.
that hard. With all the crap you build in episode 9, might as well just add this. Like it's come on.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I just think that the characters in this episode were so cool.
All
And I
of them are
thought that
so well
they
designed.
were very well done. And I mean, I just had this is the first one other than maybe the duel, even the duel. Like this one, like just had my attention like the entire time,
Oh yeah.
and I really enjoyed the Lightsaber Smith. I thought that he was a super cool character
He
because
was.
obviously he's force sensitive, because he is able to have a blade color, right?
Mhm.
So that implies, and he was able to deflect the blaster fire with his hand. Um,
So cool.
So I thought he was cool. I thought that the way that they were harvesting kyber from like the meteors orbiting the planet was
Oh
super
yeah,
cool.
like
Yeah.
they almost
like-
looked like oil pumps, but they weren't.
Yeah, but they were like shooting
slingshots or
up into
whatever.
space. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so cool.
That was so
And
cool.
I even thought that Kara was pretty cool. I kind of thought that she was annoying at first, but I thought that her character was really well done.
Yeah, she ended
and
up
then-
being really cool.
Yeah. And then like the reveal when all of the Jedi like did activate their lightsabers and they're red.
They're all
I think that
red.
was
It was so cool.
awesome.
It was so yeah.
That was incredible. And then I thought Juro was a really, really cool character as well.
Definitely.
The Margrave.
Yeah, Margaret was very
Um,
cool.
I thought that he was awesome. I think he
Just
was my
hiding in a
favorite.
robot, just trying to
Yeah.
suss him out.
Yeah.
So cool.
And the part where he like gets a lightsaber from one of the Sith and like it activates it and it's green and then like just goes ham at him. I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
And
It was so cool.
and we got red force lightning in this episode too, which is pretty freaking dope.
Yeah.
It was so
it was
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, which we've only seen with the sun before in the Mortis arc in the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I love this episode. This is my second favorite episode, not quite my first, but it's really really awesome. So, any final thoughts?
I think we good.
I also like the studio that did it, but we don't need to go
Awesome.
into that.
Valid. Okay, so the next episode is episode 6. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember which one this is.
It's
That's
Star
with
Wars
all the
Astro
robots. Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
robots.
right. TOB1.
Yeah, Toby.
Yeah,
That was cute. It was
I thought it was
nice.
very cute.
That's
it's
really it.
my second to least favorite episode. I found it very
Yeah,
cool.
same here.
I thought the fight, if you ignore how nonsensical the whole thing was, it's pretty entertaining. But
It
it's
is.
very
It was
nonsensical.
entertaining, Yeah.
I
It
got. I
was
was.
my second
Yeah.
least favorite.
They. Yeah. I don't even know. It was. I did think the fight was pretty cool. I like the Inquisitor that came to find him. I thought that was pretty dope. I don't know. I don't like the concept of a droid Jedi
I don't either.
personally.
That's why I said
So-
ignore the
Cool,
nonsensical
though.
parts, and it's cool. It was giving me major Pinocchio vibes the whole time.
Yes, that's exactly
Oh,
what it was.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, Hamza, why don't you say why you think it's cool first before I bash it?
I mean, Astro Boy, give him a lightsaber, and it's pretty much the episode. I have a lot of nostalgia to Astro Boy because I grew up with some episodes, watching it every now and then, and just kind of hit me. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, the style of it was pretty nice. I thought the animation was pretty good. The animation for all the episodes are pretty good, but this one just had sort of more of a childish innocence to it that it's just way better done than Tatooine Rhapsody.
I agree.
Yeah,
At least in my
no, I agree. Yeah, no, it was still better than that in my opinion as well. But it's not. Yeah, no.
It wasn't fantastic, but it was definitely more
It's-
entertaining than some of the episode
Yes,
2
for
specifically.
sure.
Yeah, it was still more entertaining than that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It was just there, which is fine. Okay, so episode 7 is my personal favorite. I don't know, Hamza is, or
You can
which
start
one's
off
yours?
My
Okay,
personal
okay, cool.
favorite? No, you can start off with this one. I'll
Yeah.
reveal mine later.
So the Elder is episode 7. I love this episode. Now, I'm going to be talking about this more from a Star Wars fan perspective than an anime fan perspective.
Go ahead. That's why you're the host.
That's fair. But I just loved this is kind of an era of Star Wars that we don't know too much about in canon, and obviously the show wasn't canon, but I thought that they captured that time frame very, very well, because this is like hundreds of years after the Jedi think the Sith have been eradicated rather than thousands or 8,000, where we see them in the Skywalker saga and the Phantom Menace. But it's like they're still like, there's been enough time between the two that the Jedi are kind of like, they're not really on their guard to come up against something like a Sith, but it's still fresh enough that like it's a possibility. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Mace Windu saying like, or Ki-Adi-Mundi saying like, oh, it's not even possible that you encountered a Sith. Like they've been gone for 1,000 years, but it's not such a pervasive threat that they're like, that's their first like thought of what this is going to be. And you can kind of see that in almost their movements and how like methodical and like it's not super flashy or super like over the top. It's very like, okay, this is a matter of survival. It's almost like Krav Maga, where it's like, okay, we're going to get in, get out as efficiently as possible. And I also love the dynamic. Yeah, exactly. And I also really love the dynamic between the master and the apprentice. I don't remember their names, but
I don't know. They were cool though.
But it was almost like a Qui-Gon Obi-Wan vibe they had going, which I really enjoyed. And so yeah, I love this episode though. I rewatched it, like I said, the other night before I went to bed. Like it's really, really cool. But that's all I gotta say. So.
Yeah,
it was my second favorite episode. I thought it would be my first until I watched one of the other episodes that we're going to talk about in a bit. But yeah, I thought the Sith, the creepy old man, I saw him in the trailer, and I thought he would be very menacing, and he was like very, very just, he asserted his dominance pretty well. And the fight was really nice. Like you said, they were fighting for survival. They weren't really doing any flashy movements. They were just fighting to get in, get out as cleanly as possible, minimize harm to themselves. And yeah, it was just a fantastic episode. He pretty much hit all the marks.
Yeah. And he had just 2 lightsabers like Asajj Ventress, which was cool, and they were very prominently katanas. I think these were more prominently katanas than the first episode was.
Yeah, no, they had like points to them.
Yeah, it was very specific.
Yeah.
And also just the world building was just so good, and like just the very self-contained story, they did that so well. Like I feel like a lot of the other ones kind of dropped the ball in having a self-contained story, but they gave just the right amount of information.
Yeah,
so it was good.
A lot of the others left more to be desired. This one was just very complete and very whole.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But I would enjoy more if they were to.
Yes, I want more.
Course.
These guys were cool.
Yeah, they were very cool. But yeah, no. So that's my favorite one. And if I had to guess, Hamza, I'm guessing that episode 8.
Yeah,
that's my second favorite.
Okay, episode 8 was really, really, really freaking good.
It was really
At
good.
least to me. I loved the whole, like, sort of just time skip in between the young Law Pinocho to when they grow up.
Yeah.
See, I don't really have any alternative ways of saying this, but I will gladly simp for Acho, no matter what. Whether she is evil, I will be evil too. If she redeems herself and go back to being good, guess what? I'll be good too. I'm gonna be
Certified
there.
anime fan.
Oh man.
So
man.
yeah, of course, it's no one's surprise. I really want more of this. I want a whole season. I am very ready. I will fund it by myself if I have to.
You
It's
might have to.
if it comes down to it, I will. I will. The fights I thought were really really well made. The action was incredible. The pass down lightsaber had really cool. I think it was kanji on it. Also, like katana was green. Really nice design. Acho's was it Inquisitor
Nunchucks.
uniform? Like
Sorry,
put on
I'm not entirely sure.
I thought it was an Imperial officer uniform.
Yeah.
Officer.
No,
Like
there
the
wasn't
white
really an
uniform that
Inquisitor.
like the
it's
guy
just-
in
just the
Rogue One
white on it.
has. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was kind of like a Thrawn or something like that, but like lower down.
Yeah, yeah. Her whole like design shift was pretty nice, especially when it first happened. When she kind of like bit her finger and covered
Yeah,
her,
that's so cool.
her
And also
eyeliner
cutting
thingies.
the braid, the family braid, that was
Yeah.
so cool.
And how her dad kept holding on to it till the very end.
Mhm.
And also like the final fight when Acho just broke the droid that had their memories in.
That was so
And
sad.
yeah, but I mean, yeah. Oh, I want to
It
go
was
back
very
to
good.
her being toxic and me simping for her. I am sorry, I cannot. Yeah, okay.
I will say.
Also that,
No, go for it. Go for it. I'll save my stuff.
the way the episode ended was also really nice. I don't remember too well, but I think it ended on a very sort of like cliffhangery way. And that, of course, leaves more to be desired. I want more, and I need more.
Hmm.
The whole story was really, really nice. I can't. I don't know what else to say. I loved it.
Hmm.
It's valid. Okay, John.
I liked how a non-human was the focus. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yes,
She's
that
not
was-
human. I was very appreciative that was a not human as the main character. And
Mhm.
also just all the weapons that weren't lightsabers were also really cool. They had nunchucks, they had kunai. Those were
Yes.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Those
And
are
no,
really
they're
cool.
sais, not kunais. I still
The
get those
size,
mixed up.
yeah, the blade
Yeah.
thingies.
And also, Lop just like running around and gliding on an umbrella was really funny and cool.
Mhm.
And also, I liked how it was so. I'm pretty sure it was like very far in the future because the lightsaber that was being passed down, none of them were Jedi, so the Force was not even mentioned. Like in the passing down, it was just the lightsaber techniques that were being passed down. So I just thought that was cool, and that with the exclusion of the Force just kind of gave you an idea of how far in the future this was. So I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
I
Yeah.
also really love the Dragon Ball reference with the scouter that Lop had.
Yeah, the scouter was
And
cool.
also the environment and the design of the setting was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like the marketplace, the sort of like industrialized natural planets, just whole design. It was really well made. I thought the colors they used were pretty good. Just the whole setting, just it felt really really nice. Also, the episode was covered with some film grain, which I thought added quite a bit to it.
It had a lot of charm to
aesthetically.
it. Felt like some
Yeah.
old school anime, and I really liked it.
Yeah. What I found most compelling about this episode, which I personally, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed it, but it didn't quite do it for me personally.
That's fine.
But I really enjoyed Ocho's like her reasoning for like essentially that from her perspective the Empire was going to be like a benefit to them.
It's
I
kinda
really-
logical.
Yeah, no, it 100% is, and her reasoning was very sound, and so I just really enjoyed that sort of. And I mean, they kind of made her evil to kind of get across that
that
it was
evil
a bad,
shift was
Yeah.
very fast.
just to get across that it was a
Very
bad
fast.
idea.
Yeah.
But it was
It
like
was kind of like hinted at from the beginning.
Yeah.
Time skip.
But I thought that sort of that as being the center of the conflict was an interesting thing because we don't really see that kind of perspective of it too often. It's typically a pretty black and white, like these are definitely the good guys, these are definitely the bad guys. And I think that as we progressed with Star Wars, we've kind of gotten to see that gray a little bit more. But I liked
Yeah.
being able to see that.
I
perspective.
love
Like,
gray areas.
So do I.
Definitely the gray areas were really well made in this episode. You kind of just think that the good guys are very foolish in this episode because it is more beneficial for them to side with the Empire. But
as far as like for
Yeah.
expansion galactically
And
rather than
Acho's
staying
choice
contained.
was very, very logically sound.
Yeah.
Your dad, he was just defending his home and just his legacy, just the whole planet. Everyone's just everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Do y'all have any other thoughts? I don't really have anything else. That was my
The
main
one other thought that I have, and I've been writing down the studios for each episode. This studio hasn't done anything. They
Yeah.
have
I
one
was gonna mention
project
that.
beside Visions. So after
Interesting.
seeing this, I'm now very looking forward to what they
Very
do in the
interested
anime
for what they do
department
next.
because I've never heard of them, never seen anything by them, but now I know they do good things, and I want to
Very
keep an eye
interesting.
on them.
Awesome. That's good to know. I say that like I'm going to be watching. I don't know.
You're not. I'm not gonna force you to watch stuff,
We'll
but
force you. We'll force you.
That's fair. I'm watching Fate with them right now. Fate.
yeah, we are forcing them to watch Fate. We're starting with Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
But
I think it's 0, but oh well.
I'm not in control.
Hey, it's a
of this.
prequels versus original trilogy thing. Do you start with the original trilogy? Do you start with the prequel? He wanted to
start
start
with
with the
the
original trilogy.
Start with the original trilogy. That's the way to go. But okay, so there's only one episode left, which is I don't even know how to pronounce this, but it's
Akakiri, I think.
Akiri.
I think it's Akakiri.
Akakiri, yeah.
They're two.
I
No,
have
the two.
words pulled up.
The two K's is what throws me. But
Yeah.
yeah. What are y'all's thoughts? This is a very meh episode for me. It was
Yeah,
very
it was
middle.
I
okay.
didn't really like it that much.
I didn't
I'm
like
not
it
gonna
as
lie.
the last episode, but I thought it was
Yeah.
still decent.
I agree. I think that they should have
I-
saved like the Ninth Jedi, the Elder, something
Or
else
Bob
for the last.
Pinocchio.
No,
Yeah, I
Um,
honestly put the twins above it.
I
I
did not.
thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, because
I thought it was
all
alright.
your rankings right now, and I changed the twins to be above Akakiri. I changed Alpanacho to 1, and everything else just gets shifted down.
That's valid. No, I mean I was pretty compelled by it initially, and I don't dislike the ending, but it just kind of dragged out for a while. Like
did.
the whole process of them
It really
getting
did.
to the actual conflict made the conflict itself very anticlimactic for me, which I think was the issue. I and the twist didn't land super well for me whenever he like accidentally killed
Not at all.
because it didn't make too much sense to me.
Yeah.
And then
well,
I just
kinda
couldn't
did.
identify that it was her right away, and so I was like, oh, and I was like, that's
oh really?
her.
I noticed that immediately. Like before,
Oh, yeah.
before he even started
This is
killing the
very
guards,
predictable,
I
but-
noticed her at the very back because her build was entirely different.
Oh,
And
really?
also, all the flashbacks that he had been having was him killing her, like all
Yeah.
the like weird Force memories. So I thought that was.
Oh
cool.
yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It also like felt very like that whole journey took up way too much of the runtime of the episode.
did.
That it kind of just emptied the interesting parts. Just made the interesting parts seem much shorter, and just made it very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main weakness for this episode was just it didn't have to be Star Wars. There was nothing about it that had to be Star Wars for it to still work as a story.
I mean,
It's
it
the
was
same weakness as episode 2. It had nothing to do with Star Wars. It just
Yeah.
slapped a coat of Star Wars paint on it.
it was if Anakin was able to actually save Padme, but worse.
Yeah.
It was basically Anakin's storyline. But I did like the main character. I thought that the Jedi was really interesting. Once
He
again,
was
don't
cool.
remember
It was
his name.
interesting, but
But I do
was
like
very
that.
boring.
I do like that human conflict of your desires versus your moral codex that the Jedi have to struggle with in that way with attachments.
And he failed.
And he did fail. And I think that that's a cool way to end it. But at the same time, I think I'd be completely fine if I didn't see another one of those episodes or another like a follow up to that one. Like it didn't leave me like, oh, what happened next? It's like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't need to know what happened next. It felt conclusive.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Even though it was kind of a cliffhanger.
It was, but
No,
I don't want any more at all.
I
I
don't
don't
need
need
more.
any more.
The only ones that I need more of are my top 4. I don't need more of them. But
is the ranking on your Instagram page? Because I haven't actually
Yes.
seen it.
Yeah,
it's also on my website. I posted it if you have which is twinsuntalks.wixsite.com /twin-sun. But yeah, no. So I'll go through my rankings right now. So at number 9, last place, which we've already talked about, was Tatooine Rhapsody. Didn't like it very much. Pretty juvenile. Next one was TOB1, episode 8. Or no, 6. same thing, pretty juvenile, not my favorite. Then we have the twins, which obviously Hamza disagreed with us on, but I thought that it was a little too out there.
I have to disagree.
Maybe the
That's
Japanese
fine.
did it
Also
better.
need to
I'll go watch
stop
it.
this from making being just a yes men type of
Course.
sort of conversation.
And I appreciate that. And I've seen a lot of people that have really enjoyed it, but for me, it was a little too over the top.
Mhm.
Like I said, I think the concept of a lightsaber suit's really, really cool, but I just think it fell a little short for me personally.
Yeah.
Number 6, we got episode 9, Akakiri, which we just talked about. It was very meh. Next up for me is number 5, episode 8, La Pinocho. Not for me personally, but
I understand that's not for you. That's okay.
4 is Village Bride. Awesome, just in general. 3 is Duel. 2 is Ninth Jedi. 1 is Elder. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like a pretty general consensus are my top 3 are pretty generally enjoyed.
Everyone really likes those, so.
But it depends. There are a couple others that get thrown in there every once in a while, like Twins or La Pinocho, that supersede them for some people.
Like the top 3 that you have, everyone can agree is in the top 5 at least. But it's just some people have like, oh, I really like this one specific one that gets thrown to the top.
Yeah. But anyways, do y'all have anything? Obviously, y'all have La Pinocho over my rankings, but or higher up.
I think I ranked Toby higher than I don't have an actual ranking, so there's going to be a lot of jumping around. But so at the very bottom was Tatooine Rhapsody, then it was Twins, then it was Akakiri, then Toby, then Village Bride, then Duel, Elder, La Pinocho, and Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, for me it was Tatooine Rhapsody, Akakiri, and then Toby, and then the Twins, and then Village Bride, Duel, Ninth Jedi, Elder, and La Pinocho.
Respect.
We all agree on the top 5, basically.
We do agree on the top 5. Yeah.
They're like universally the best.
Yeah, they were really good.
I do feel like there was a pretty steep drop off between.
There was.
The good ones and the.
I had a lot of 8s, like 7 out of 10s and 8 out of 10s, and then just Tatooine Rhapsody and Twins were 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
Tatooine Rhapsody's even worse for me.
I didn't have the heart to rank it any lower because those people did work on it, and they sure did try. So I don't have the heart to rank it too low.
Yeah. And I feel like for the most part, I felt like these people did understand Star Wars, and they had like a good understanding of what this type of story was supposed to be, which I can admire. And I feel like just a few of them fell a little bit short for me personally, but I do feel like it's been a good addition to Star Wars. I feel like it's been very generally beloved. I've seen a lot of people really hating on it, but it's like
Reddit is very bad right now.
It's also
I did not see that.
It's also not canon, so it's like
it's not canon. So why do you care?
True, but also like all the creative additions they added onto the Star Wars just
there was no harm done.
I think
so cool.
I think that it's okay that it's not canon. I think that they can make some of this canon later, but I think that it was better that it wasn't canon.
Yes,
because then they can let the creativity just like run loose and do whatever they wanted.
There was no restrictions.
Exactly, which I think is perfect. But I think that for a first try at something like this, I think that it was the perfect way to go.
Yeah,
very good.
So I'm assuming that we are going to get a season 2 for this. What are y'all hoping to see from that?
More Ninth Jedi.
More Ninth Jedi. Yeah. So either follow-ups or like new studios, because I don't know anything about the studios.
UFO Table. I want UFO Table to do one.
Yeah, UFO definitely.
Is it pronounced UFO? I thought it was UFO Table.
Is it UFO? I have no idea. There was like
I think Christian and I looked it up, and it was UFO Table. So Jonah, because you might not know, UFO Table is the people who did Fate and Demon Slayer. And I have made you watch the first part of Demon Slayer, and now you're watching Fate.
Yep.
And the fights are very good and very colorful, and I feel like they would do a lightsaber fight very well.
I think I would agree. Well. From what I've seen from Fate, I would completely agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just something about UFO Table. There's another studio. Did Madhouse do anything in here or not?
No.
I don't know.
I want something from Madhouse.
What did they do?
I don't know anything.
They did Death Parade, Hunter x Hunter,
That would probably
2011.
be good.
They did Death Note. They did a bunch of others.
Yeah.
But they did have a lot of big names here, so
Mhm.
they did good. Just UFO Table's the main one for me.
That's valid, and I would agree with UFO Table, having seen the fight
same.
scenes. And apparently, I've been told that the fight scenes I've seen aren't even that great.
No, you have not seen the movies yet. The
movies have
fight
better
scenes.
fight scenes.
It's valid.
Christian and I rewatched the fight scene, the third movie, 4 times.
Hey, I get that. I will say, last night before I went to bed, I watched the episode in Mando season 2 that has Boba Fett, and I just watched the scenes with him, and just like skipped around through whenever he was like with the gaffy stick.
It was just so cool,
messing up the stormtroopers, and then whenever he got his armor at the very end, I just watched that scene, and then went to bed.
Yeah, just good fight scenes are always worth rewatching.
They really are.
Yeah.
Okay, do y'all have any other thoughts on like an anime topic, or I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on just Star Wars in general, because I haven't gotten to hear like what y'all just love about Star Wars.
I want a Fallen Order 2.
I also want a Fallen Order 2. It was
yeah,
very fun.
and that's another great thing that we can talk about, because I don't really have any insight into Fallen Order or video games in general, other than Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga,
which is the best one
by
far.
Objectively, the best thing.
Hey, Skywalker Saga is coming soon. That's all I'm saying.
I'm very excited. I will play that. I will play
it with you, co-op mode.
Yes, of course.
Actually, Christian might want to as well. We're gonna have to trade remotes.
It's okay.
Cycle through us all.
Yeah, it's okay. Whoever has the least number of coins after each mission has to trade off.
Has to switch out.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah. So give me a spiel about Fallen Order, because I don't know much about that, and I don't know if y'all play Battlefront or stuff like that. But any video games that I don't really know anything about them other than Complete Saga.
John, do you wanna start?
Well, I don't want to give too many spoilers because there's the actual story. I don't want to spoil the story, but it is just a lot of exploring planets that have been either not very well explored in the show, or very well explored. I feel like Dathomir has been pretty well explained in the show, and you do go to Dathomir, and Kashyyyk has also been pretty well explained, and you go to Kashyyyk. But there's just some other small planets, and it's kind of just going around and just looking at environmental storytelling. Like, there's just a crashed Jedi cruiser in one of the levels, and you just get to go around the crashed Jedi cruiser and just find, like, data logs from, like, what the crew was thinking.
That's super
and, like, there's lots of Order 66 flashbacks that are just really cool.
Okay.
And also more canon lightsaber colors, which are really cool.
And I do hope that we get, like, meanings for those eventually. Because what are they? They're orange?
There's orange, cyan,
magenta, I think.
And indigo?
Indigo is one,
yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I could make some up for those, but I'm not gonna dive into
I mean, you can also look at like the Legends meaning, because like I looked at what orange lightsabers were in Legends, and like Mandalorian Jedis had orange lightsabers.
Yeah.
But they weren't actually Jedi.
In canon, the Mandalorian Jedi is the only one is Tar Vizsla, who had the dark saber. So that's a little different. I know that if I'm remembering, there was like, I think there was a Hutt Jedi at one point that had an orange lightsaber in Legends.
Probably.
I don't really remember what the meaning is. I know that there were a lot of weird lightsabers in Legends. At one point, lightsaber color was just completely fluid, kind of like in the Ninth Jedi, where it was like they just kind of changed.
That's so cool.
There wasn't really any consistency, but they've kind of streamlined that a little bit.
They have.
Disney, just add that. Why not?
Huh? I mean, yeah. I feel like that would be cool for like a specific sect of individuals. I feel like across the board that could get a little confusing.
It
definitely could
mess some things up.
But like a specific like kind of like group of like kind of like what we saw in the Ninth Jedi, where it's like a surviving group of Jedi that has like
or like that one specific blacksmith is the only person who is capable of doing it, and those are the only lightsabers that can do it. That would be cool.
I think that would be awesome. Yeah. And it has like a specific like kind, like we have like
a special kind of crystal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I completely agree. But Hamza, any thoughts on Fallen Order or video games in general that I don't know about?
Fallen Order, really good game. Really recommend you play it. Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake soon. That trailer was very, very hype.
We don't have a PlayStation in our house. It makes me sad.
PC though.
PlayStation 5 sitting right here, right next to me.
Yeah, you want to come over one time? Just play it.
It's going to be available on PC though, right?
Not
I'm not
immediately. I think it's a
sure.
timed exclusive.
Yeah,
Really? Okay.
because they started off the this last PlayStation event with that trailer, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume they want to hold off on that for a bit.
That's fair. I just know that I've heard from Xbox people that are very put out about it right now.
Yeah, because it originally was an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
The original release was.
Yeah. But
That's pretty much it.
yeah, no, that's valid. And I'm Knights of the Old Republic is something that I know a lot about, having not played the game, just because I know a lot of the lore about the different characters that are involved in it. But yeah, that'd be a game that I'd be interested in trying out sometime, just to say that I've tried it.
Yeah.
But yeah, do y'all have any other thoughts about movies, shows, anything at all?
Well, I still haven't finished Rebels, and you can scold me
Valid.
for that if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand.
That's
Hamza,
about it.
why? I didn't realize that you hadn't watched Clone Wars. I don't think I remember
Yeah.
that.
I've told you before.
I know you. I'm sure you
I
have.
slipped it into one of the things I said so that you wouldn't be as surprised or as shocked.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
I-
worth it.
I really need to watch it.
You do. And if you, this is a plug for the podcast, if you are wanting to watch and you haven't watched yet, go back to episodes 2 and 3 of this podcast.
I did mark all of your roadmap episodes, and I will be using that for watching it. And I probably should watch it, considering I binged the entirety of Money Heist and Squid Games in like a week.
I've heard that Squid Games is solid. I've heard that it's not for everybody, but I've heard that it's pretty good.
It's really good. Also, Money Heist, all 5 seasons so far, or 4.5. Amazing.
You binged
Real
all of
brilliant
it?
show. Yes, in a week. Exactly.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. I could never.
It was really good.
You do have to build a
It's the kind of
tolerance for
show.
binging shows.
I can't binge shows. I can watch 3 episodes max, as John knows, at a time, and I have to take a break.
I can binge shows, but I can't really binge anime as well anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a honeymoon period, and I'm still in that honeymoon period,
Yeah,
so
you're
I can
definitely
binge
still in
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
But
No.
it'll get to that point,
I can't deal with it.
and that's fine. You don't have to.
Yeah, but I still respect it. But yeah, any other thoughts, or should we get into a little bit of Rank and Master?
Are we? I believe we're the first A&M students to be on the podcast, right?
We are.
It's been because it's been Jeb, Sean, and Scott.
Oh.
Biggs just lost to Mississippi State.
Let's go.
Yeah,
The bird on the field.
The bird. Put the bird at QB. Yeah, no.
He would
The
do
bird-
better.
The bird was in the end zone more than our team was.
Yeah.
But
It's
So
sad.
bad.
yeah. Anyways,
I
yeah,
was
go.
working concessions, so I saw the mood change very drastically, very
Oh
quickly.
wow, that
See,
would
I
suck.
was so busy this past week that I forgot to pull tickets, but I also didn't really have anyone to go with, so it was like,
Yeah, I was volunteering, and it was interesting seeing the crowd shift.
this is not our year. It's okay. We'll get him next year. But
Next year.
it's hard when your starting QB goes out. But anyways, this is not a sports podcast. This is a Star Wars podcast. So, but yes, y'all are the first A&M students. Y'all, we're all in College Station. John and I are in the same house. He's right above me right now.
Yeah, if I stomp really loud, it could get picked up on the mic, but I'm not
You
going
wanna try?
to.
You wanna
I'll
try?
try.
You can try.
I'll jump.
Let's try. Oh my gosh. Well, John. But yeah, that worked.
That worked
but,
far better than I
played
expected.
that was
The neighbors are probably mad.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also, Christian, if he was
Sorry.
taking a nap,
Yeah. It's okay. He's fine.
he'll be fine.
But okay. So that being said, why don't we transition real quick into Rank of Master?
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
All right, so welcome back to the Rank of Master, folks. If this is your first time watching it, this is essentially going to be a quick 3-question quiz that I give to guests whenever they come on, and if they get a certain grade that I've never disclosed because there isn't a certain grade, I just kind of go off of vibes, then they go up a rank. You start out as a youngling, then you go up to Padawan, then to Knight, and then the Rank of Master. And then once you're a Master, you have the ability to challenge me for the rank of Grandmaster. And if you haven't seen the episode where I got the rank of Grandmaster. You can go back. I don't remember which episode number it was, but I think it might have been 18 question mark. Where I had
Scott
my
and Jeb
brother
are in the title, so you can
Scott
just look for
and
that.
well, just Jeb. Scott was a
Oh,
special guest,
Oh yeah, he
but
was.
it's back a ways. It was back in June I think, whenever it was released. But I got a special quiz from the two people at the time that had passed the test, Scott Fonseca and Jeb Blue, my brother. And they gave me a quiz which I passed, and I'm now Grandmaster. Um, so John and Hamza have never been on before, so
Yep.
these are
Oh god.
they're both younglings, and they're going for the rank of Padawan. And so a couple things that about this segment that have been brought to my attention since I've started. I've been told that some people have gotten much harder quizzes than others. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sean
I did
is
kind
the
of
only
feel like
one.
he was shafted.
Sean is the only one that hasn't passed. So I do feel bad for that, but
I'll
I've been.
join Sean. I'll join the resistance.
Hey, there's a
I think you're gonna be
chance.
fine, Hamza. But I have since made youngling questions much easier because after discussing it with my team, which is just people that I know, like John and my brother and people, I've decided that youngling should definitely be something that you can do if you've only watched the movies, which I feel like is a fair thing. And not only that, but something that like pretty major plot points that aren't just like names of things and stuff like that.
Names are hard, dude.
Names are hard.
They really are.
That being said, I did give y'all a name question, but
Oh,
it should
boy.
be pretty easy.
I hope so.
So, so another thing that I've added into the criteria that I haven't necessarily mentioned before is that if you're able to talk through your answer to the point where like I can see that you know a lot about Star Wars, but not necessarily this specific topic that I'm asking you about, I may give you partial credit anyways, just because I know that I don't know a lot about certain aspects of Star Wars that other people know a lot more about, and vice versa. And so not everyone specializes in the same thing, which I'm trying to accommodate here. And so, much like the regular Jedi Council, I will let my personal biases about you as a person sway my decision on whether or not I allow you to go to the next rank. So, what I'm going to have y'all do, since y'all are the same rank, I'm going to have y'all text me the answers, and then I'm going to have y'all talk through them, give me your spiel, and then I'm going to tell y'all the answer. So, does that sound good? Okay.
Sounds good to me.
So, first question is, and then y'all just text me, and then whenever I've gotten both y'all's texts, I'll let y'all talk through it. In Return of the Jedi, we get to see Luke Skywalker's new lightsaber in action. What color was
I know this one. Imagine I texted the group chat instead of just you. That would have been
it? I
funny.
got Hamza. Alrighty. John, you got yours in first, so why don't you give me your answer?
It's green. And it was cool because we only saw blue lightsabers before then. And you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's not red or blue.
Yeah, it's true. Hamza?
Green is it's nice. It's a good color. I like it more than blue.
Awesome.
I do too. Despite wearing a blue shirt.
All iPhone people hate green bubbles, so
Yeah.
I have to shame you all for that.
I do hate green bubbles, but I love
hate
green.
Do y'all know? Okay, y'all are both correct. The answer is green. Do y'all know why he had a green lightsaber in this one?
I've heard about it before.
Typical movie reason?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I heard about it, but
wasn't
I
just a
don't
green
remember.
effect easier to add than a blue one or something like that?
It was so that it would. The first time we see it, it's outside, so it was going to be easier to see against the sky rather than a blue lightsaber.
That makes sense.
Because up until that point, George Lucas just had blue and red, and that was going to be it.
Mhm.
But he added green so that it would be easier to see. So,
Yeah.
little tidbit there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, well, y'all both got that one correct. So well done. 1 for 1, each of y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Question number 2. This is a longer question. In Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan Kenobi travels to the backwater world of Kamino. There he discovers that what had been secretly created on behalf of the Republic. So text me your answers whenever y'all got.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah.
I may or may not have been dozing off to a distance.
No worries. In Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan Kenobi travels to the backwater world of Kamino. There he discovers that what had been secretly created on behalf of the Republic.
This is where my Alzheimer's kicks in.
Your Alzheimer at the age of 19.
I gave you a lot of little bits of information.
Yeah, I know this should be a very, very easy one, but
It should.
I haven't rewatched the movies in a very, very long time.
Okay, so John, once again, you got your answer in first. So
Did Hamza submit an answer?
He did submit an answer.
Okay.
It's just
If I'm not mistaken, and Hamza's making me worried that I'm just completely missing something, it's a clone army, right? They make the clones for the Jedi?
That is what Kamino does, yes.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
Hamza,
You made me very worried, because I felt that was pretty obvious.
Hamza,
I remember.
Yeah? Well, what's your answer, though, Hamza?
Do we really need to mention?
I'm going to mention it if you don't, so it's either on your terms or my terms.
Yeah, fall on your own sword, man.
The opposite of what a living moon is.
Yeah, you said the Death Star. But, which is fair.
Okay, look,
I feel like it's a good guess.
100%.
To be fair, the Death Star was being secretly created during the Clone Wars, as we see, because we see like much of it created at the end of Return of the Sith. I'm
Revenge of the
dying
Sith?
right now. Revenge of the Sith. We see it at the very end, and we see like a large amount of the framework done. So to be fair, that was being secretly created on behalf of the Republic, which was eventually the Empire.
Yeah.
So, but that's not what the question was asking. But that's okay. Okay, so John, 2 for 2. Hamza,
Yay.
1 for 2. Okay, last question.
All right.
What is the name of the Supreme Leader of the First Order who appears as a large hologram before Kylo Ren and General Hux in The Force Awakens?
You're correct. That was a fairly straightforward name one.
If I do get this wrong, I'm
You'd
very
be embarrassed.
Y'all are both in. Hamza, you got yours in first this time. Give me your answer. Or an explanation. Snoke?
Yeah.
That it? Cool.
I don't remember
John?
his title, but I know it's Snoke.
Snoke?
My phone
Yes.
autocorrected to Smoke at first, so I had to
I
back
would
up
have
and fix it.
I would have taken
autocorrect
it.
off.
Yeah, y'all are both correct. So Supreme Leader Snoke. I already said that his name is. Who's the Supreme Leader?
Yeah, this one was an easy one.
That was a good name one.
Yeah. No, I figured that would be because it's not a main character, but it's still.
He was very important until he dies all of a sudden, and it's just he's
And
dead.
The plot was really just went into scrambles.
No, that's very fair. Okay, Hamza, John, you went 3 for 3. Hamza, you went 2 for 3. Could you give me a few facts about the Clone Army?
Me?
No, Hamza, you're good, John.
Hamza. Okay.
Well, I mean, we see them in the prequels in Episode 2. Does that help with much? General Grievous was there. There was the scene with Obi-Wan. Hello there.
We're talking about the Clone Army, bud.
Well, yeah.
That wasn't Camino.
I'm saying facts to seem knowledgeable, you know. Although it's the opposite here. I'm just I'll accept any divine punishment you offer me.
To be fair, I've never had someone go 2 for 3. I've only ever had people go 3 for 3 or 1 for 3.
Yeah.
So,
just curve it up a little bit, you know.
Well, is there anything else you know a lot about for Star Wars?
I was gonna say any other Star Wars knowledge.
It's been a while since I've consumed much Star Wars besides the podcast episodes that I've been trying to catch up on.
I had a whole episode about the Clone Army.
Well, it's I watch a lot. I just binge like 2 shows in a week in a day, so I'm sorry.
That's valid. I'm kidding.
Yeah. The Clone Army was recent, I think.
Huh?
The Clone Army episode was recent.
It was over the summer. It was a while ago.
I think it was like 7 episodes ago.
Scroll through the episodes. I don't think I've gotten to that one yet.
No, it's fine. I'm kidding. But okay, the council has made a decision. myself included. John, 3 for 3 is pretty solid. You have moved. You
Congrats.
I did
ranked in the
it.
rank of Padawan. Hamza, I'm gonna give it to you. I think that you can move on to the rank of Padawan.
No,
I
I've left Sean behind.
I know. I'll have Sean on soon, hopefully, and he can get some redemption. But
Yes, hopefully.
but no, I think that you got something that was secretly
Like,
being created on behalf. It wasn't on Camino, and Obi-Wan did not discover it, but
yes, yeah.
it was close. It was close.
Not really that close, but
It was not close, but that's okay.
You can be as brutally honest as
But
you
you
have
you
to.
did get the other two
Kindness.
correct. And then when I asked you to talk about the Clone Army, you talked about the "Hello There" memes. But that's okay.
You're
Okay.
a
Clones
fan of
were
the
there.
memes, so
I-
I just wanted to
I do
appease
like
you in
that
some
a
way.
lot. And I appreciate that. But okay, yeah, congratulations, both of y'all move on to the rank of Padawan. Next time y'all are on, y'all have the ability to test up to the rank of Knight.
I
And then-
have to do some studying.
Yeah, that's my goal.
I
'Cause I'm probably not going past that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start watching Clone Wars, rewatch all the movies. And,
Master's going to be tough. Here, actually, you know what? I'm feeling crazy. I'm going to read y'all a couple questions for the rank of Master. And if someone's watching this that eventually gets these questions, like, good for them. I do this every once in a while, and if you're a listener
do.
for the podcast,
I've written them all down.
it's to incentivize people to do this. Let's see. What's Han Solo's homeworld?
No idea.
well,
I don't remember the start of Solo.
Do y'all know what the shipbuilding world in Star Wars is?
No, but I know that it's the start of Fallen Order, and they go to it in Bad Batch, right?
No.
Oh,
They
that's
go
the
to Braca.
scrapyard. Yeah, that's
They
the
go to
scrapyard.
Braca. Yeah. It is Corellia. So if you hear about Corellian starships, Corellia. Yeah.
okay.
Which I feel like could be a night question if I'm being or like Padawan tonight, but
I will write it down.
let's see. What? Oh, John, I talked about this with you the other day. What is Lando Calrissian's full name?
Such a hard question. His first name isn't Lando.
Nope.
How are you pulling these?
I got what, and this is an important thing. I don't ask any questions that I myself do not know.
Yeah,
This is the hardest question I think that I
By
could
far.
possibly
it
ask.
definitely does.
It's only
seem
in a
like
source book, right? It's in that
It's
one
only
source
in a
book
source
that you
book.
had.
It's never mentioned outside of the source book that I know of.
Oh.
Like not in any other media, like as far as like visual media and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It is. I will say his last name is Calrissian, and Lando is short
Yep.
for something.
I don't
It's
remember. You talked about this yesterday, and I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Landonus Balthazar Calrissian.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. And then I'll give y'all one more. Let's see. This is great. Okay. Cloud City, this is kind of similar to a Lando Calrissian one, but Cloud City, the mining colony run by Lando Calrissian, specialized in mining what resource?
I feel like I should know this, but I don't, so I'm
Yeah.
going to say oil because it'd be funny. They get oil from a gas planet.
It's not oil. But that's okay. Hamza, you got any guesses?
I'm good. I'll save myself.
To ban a gas.
Makes sense. That's a gas.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's all that I got. But I got a lot of master questions because I had to shift all of my Padawan questions up to tonight after I restructured this. So yeah, that's a couple freebies for anybody who might get up there eventually. So we'll see. But okay, that's all that I have for this episode. But it wouldn't be a proper episode if I didn't leave y'all with a little bit more. Alrighty, so this week on More, we're going to be talking a little bit about Night Sisters. So Night Sisters are the race that Ventress is a part of, and they're essentially, so this is directly from the source book that I've been using for a lot of my mores recently, which is Star Wars Absolutely Everything You Need to Know, updated and expanded. It has information up until The Last Jedi, I'm pretty sure. So the Night Sisters, word for word from the source book, the Night Sisters are a mysterious sect of warrior witches who tap into ancient Force magics to help them deceive enemies. And they are native to the planet of Dathomir, which, if y'all have listened to my more recent episode about species that are prominent within Star Wars, you know that Dathomir is home to the Dathomirs of Brax, and Night Sisters are the female of that species, with Night Brothers being the males. And they run a matriarchal society. I go into more detail about them in that episode, so if you want to learn more about that, go back there. And I'm going to have a whole episode about the Night Sisters eventually. I just need to get around to researching them a bit more. But that's all that I have for this episode. John, Hamza, anything more to add?
Fallen Orders kind of just has
Yeah, a
them
Night Sister has Night Sisters.
That's a very good point. They do go to Dathomir and Fallen Order, and there's a very
prominent Night Sister who gets involved.
Yeah. Yes, I have heard about that. So yeah, and I'm sure that I'll read up on that a bit more whenever I do that episode.
Or you can play it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that I'll do that episode before I end up playing the entire game. But,
no, you have time. You totally have time. Definitely.
No time.
No, you definitely have time.
I barely have time to do this. But, you know, it's
have time.
Yeah. But, okay. Any final thoughts about anything from y'all?
Thanks for having us on. It was really fun.
Of course, this was awesome. Yeah.
Pleasure.
Definitely have y'all on another time. Okay, awesome. Well, we've taken your first steps into a larger world. May the Force be with you, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye, friends.
See ya.